found out my wedding was just a visa scam. If you've ever felt like your entire life was a lie, like everything you believed in just crumbled overnight, then maybe you'll understand what I'm about to say. My name's Rachel. I'm 31, born and raised in a small town in Michigan. I work in healthcare admin, not clinical, and I've always been a love-hard type of person. I fall fast. I give too much. I always believed in real love, the grow old together kind, which is probably why I didn't see it coming. I met Daniel about 3 years ago, in the most unromantic way possible, through a Facebook group for expats and language exchange. I was just looking for someone to practice my terrible Spanish with, and he was in the US on a student visa from Argentina, finishing his master's. We started messaging, then video chatting, and honestly, he was charming. Not in a sleazy way, just sweet, thoughtful, funny in this soft, patient kind of way. He listened, he remembered things, and after a few months of talking, I flew out to meet him in person. It felt like a movie. He picked me up at the airport with flowers. We stayed in this cozy Airbnb, cooked together, laughed a lot. He was so affectionate, so gentle. After years of dating guys who barely texted back, being with Daniel felt like I could finally exhale. Fast forward a year later, we were officially dating, visiting each other every few months. We'd even talked about living together once he finished school, but then something shifted. One night on the phone, he sounded nervous. He told me his student visa was expiring soon, and he didn't want to go back home. He said things with his family were complicated, financial struggles, toxic relatives. He said the US felt like home now, that I felt like home. Then he said something that made my heart stop. He said, "Rach, have you ever thought about us getting married?" I remember going totally still. Not because I didn't want to, believe me, I did, but because I wasn't expecting it to come like that. I asked, "Are you saying this because of the visa?" And I'll never forget what he said next. He paused, then said, "No, I'm saying this because I love you. The visa just makes it more urgent." It sounds dumb now, but in that moment it felt honest. I believed him. So we got married. It wasn't a huge thing, just courthouse vows, a small dinner with some friends. He cried during the ceremony, held my hands like they were fragile, whispered, "I'll never leave you," during our first dance in the living room. God, it makes me sick thinking about that now. The first few months were great. He moved in. We built routines, grocery shopping together, Sunday morning coffee on the balcony, inside jokes, movie nights. Then the paperwork started. You know, the immigration process. Forms, interviews, affidavits. I didn't mind. I wanted him here. I wanted us. But slowly, he started to change. He'd get irritated more easily, started pulling away during conversations, stopped being affectionate unless someone else was around. He'd act warm in public but cold at home. Little things at first, a shrug, a scoff, avoiding eye contact. I told myself it was stress. The immigration stuff is overwhelming, right? That's what I thought. Then one night, I woke up and he wasn't in bed. I walked out to the living room and he was sitting there, phone in hand, laughing at something. I asked who he was talking to. He jumped like I'd caught him doing something, tried to laugh it off and said it was just a friend from back home, but his body language, it was off. Stiff, defensive. Something inside me shifted that night. I started noticing more. How he'd always turn his phone screen away from me. How he suddenly had meetings at odd hours. How he stopped using pet names. No more me Amber. No more forehead kisses. One night I saw a message pop up on his phone while he was in the shower. It was from a woman, in Spanish. I couldn't understand all of it, but I caught the words "T extraño, I miss you." My stomach dropped. When I confronted him, he brushed it off as an old friend being too emotional, said I was being paranoid, gaslighted me into feeling like I was crazy. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But something told me to dig deeper. So I did. I remembered that he'd logged into his email on my laptop once. And yeah, I know I shouldn't have done it, but curiosity, desperation, heartbreak, it'll make you do things you never thought you would. And what I found, it destroyed me. There were emails, dozens of them, between him and someone I didn't know, a woman. Apparently, they'd been talking for over a year. There were even screenshots of their messages, and get this, he was bragging to her. He told her, "I just need to stay married for 2 years. After that, I can get my green card and we're free to be together." He literally wrote, "She's boring but sweet. She believes everything I say." I felt like I couldn't breathe. I stared at the screen for probably 20 minutes before the tears even came. And when they did, I collapsed. My marriage, my life, was just a transaction to him. I gave this man my heart, my trust, my home. I loved him. And the whole time, I was just a stepping stone, a means to an end. I wish I could say I confronted him right then and there. But I didn't. I waited. I needed to be smart. I needed proof, real proof, that could hold up in court or with immigration if it came to that. So I started collecting screenshots, voice recordings, emails, even recorded one of our arguments when he slipped up and mentioned only needing to stay a little longer. I built a whole folder, backed it up, printed copies, sent them to a trusted friend, and then I planned my exit. I didn't sleep the night before I left him. My heart was racing the entire time, but my mind was crystal clear. You know that moment when your body knows something awful is coming, but your soul is finally done being lied to? That was me. The morning I planned to leave, I packed everything I needed while he was out at the gym. I didn't make a scene. No drama, just essentials, my documents, the folder of evidence, and my dog. Yeah, even my dog liked me more than him by the end. I left a note on the kitchen table. Not for closure, not for sympathy, just so he wouldn't call the cops and say I went missing or something stupid. It said, "Don't contact me, I know everything." I blocked him on everything. Then I filed for an annulment, not just a divorce. I didn't want to be tied to him legally for one more second than necessary. I submitted the evidence to my lawyer, and yeah, we reported him to immigration. He tried to play dumb at first, tried texting me from random numbers. One message said, "You misunderstood. That was just talk, I never meant to hurt you." Another one said, "Can't we just talk? I still care about you." But he didn't care about me. He cared about the visa, about staying in the country long enough to make it official, about getting what he came for. Once he realized I wasn't responding, he got angry. The last message I ever got said, "You'll regret ruining my life, you'll see." That was the moment I realized something important. He never saw me as a person. He saw me as a tool, a shortcut. You'd think that would make me feel weak. But it didn't. I felt powerful, because I walked away before he could finish using me, because I exposed him, because I chose myself. He ended up getting flagged for immigration fraud. I'm not sure what happened after that. My lawyer handled everything. But from what I heard, he either left voluntarily or was deported. I don't care which. He's gone. It's been almost a year now. I'm still healing. There are nights I lie awake wondering how I missed the signs, wondering if any of it was ever real. But I'm also proud of myself, because I didn't let the lie become my whole story. I made it just a chapter. I've started dating again, very slowly, cautiously. I'm not looking for a fairy tale anymore. I'm looking for truth, even if it's messy, even if it takes time. And honestly, I'd rather be alone and real than loved and lied to. I think what hurts the most is how easily someone can fake forever. How someone can hold your hand, look you in the eyes, and promise to spend their life with you, while already planning to leave you behind. If you're listening to this and you've ever felt used, ever felt like someone only loved the convenience of you, not the reality of you, please hear this. You're not stupid, you're not weak, and you're not to blame. Some people are just empty in places you tried to pour your love into, and that's not your fault. But what you do next, that part's yours. Me, I chose to rebuild, stronger, wiser, and finally free. So yeah, that's how I found out my wedding was never about love. It was just a visa scam, but I walked away. I protected myself, and I learned the hard way, real love doesn't come with conditions or a countdown clock. Thanks for listening. If you want to hear more real stories like this, hit subscribe, because sometimes the truth hurts, but it's better than living a lie.